It is episode numero dos, number 2, and today I want to talk about Hermes heritage. If you happen to miss episode 1, please be sure to watch that because we talked on affordability and is Hermes, is it worth it? Is it the right brand for you? But today I really wanted to focus on Hermes heritage because, as I mentioned before in my little intro, I'm going to be doing these videos in the order of what I did specifically for me as far as my Hermes, my personal Hermes strategy as I, began to build my relationship with my sales associate, with the brand, my knowledge of the brand. So the next step of what I did is once I decided, okay, is this something that I can afford? And is this a bag that I'm okay with taking out, or I'm okay with, having a cost per site versus cost per wear? The next thing was I wanted to focus on learning everything that I could about Hermes. So like yourself, you're here watching this video, I watched every video that I could. Every video on how to score a Birkin, how to score a quota bag, Hermes offers, Hermes 101, you name it. It was like any Hermes topic that I could watch out there on YouTube, as well as even just, Googling it. I know a lot of people use like the purse forum and they will, read up on that. I'll go in there every now and then, but not so much. I also look at Purse Bop. That's another website that I will get like history on, especially like pricing history, the colors, because that's very important as well. So as far as Hermes heritage, I looked at other resources, especially the YouTube videos, what worked for people specifically on their, quest to receive an offer from an Hermes associate, especially within the boutiques here, primarily within the United States. Because of course, in other countries, it's going to be different. I made it a point to really learn about the brand, how everybody's experience was different, watching all those videos. I wanted to also learn about the different types of leathers. I wanted to learn exactly what types of leathers Hermes offered. And then the colors specifically, because of course they change, in the season, because you have like the fall season and then like the summer season, or like the colors of the year. I also looked at the previous colors, like the color palette, the blues, the reds, the oranges, the pinks, you name it, neutrals. What colors are most popular? What colors, are least popular? Like all of that, those were the videos that I was looking at to then understand the brand, know what colors I liked. And then the pricing, that was extremely important for me to know, okay, how much is this bag going to cost me, right? Is this something that I want to go ahead and proceed, with building a profile within a boutique, or do I want to go the pre-loved route? Also, what's really important is, of course, as I mentioned with the pricing, the pricing on the pre-loved market for certain handbags, as well as is it more on the pre-loved market or is it less, right? Because that, to me, depending, because maybe you're not interested in a Kelly or a Birkin, but maybe you really love, let's say, a Picotin or a Roulis, that type of a handbag. Is that handbag, can you find that on the pre-loved market, and is it selling for more or is it selling for less? And in which route do you want to go, right? Because especially if you don't want to build a profile because your goal is a quota bag, then get that bag on the resale market, right? That's my thought, which will be another video. But that's what I'm saying, is you want to look into those things as well, as you want to take that into consideration for as far as like the history, the colors, the types of bags, the sizes, knowing the history of how they release colors, every year. and that the colors are not always available, right? Every now and then, of course, you have the colors for the seasons that Hermes has, and then every now and then you might see an older color every now and then like pop in. So it's knowing that, because this way you are more informed about Hermes for when you have your encounter, your interaction, as you are, building that relationship with the sales associate. This is what helped me tremendously, was I went in knowledgeable. Sharing is caring, knowledge is power. Fill your bucket with as much information as you can about Hermes. My big suggestion is to not just go in and kind of like be blindsided. Know and show, really importantly, exhibit to your sales associate that you have taken the time to know about the brand. That's another big tip, because that's what worked for me. Know about the colors, know about the different styles of bags, know a little bit of history, know the heritage of the Hermes brand. Watch as many videos and do as much reading up or history online that you can, especially if you have a specific handbag in mind. If you know for sure, like you want a Kelly, or that you want a Birkin, what sizes does it come in? What are some of the colors that you like? Start to build your color palette. What colors do you want? What works in your wardrobe? What are the colors that will work best for you? What do you like? Because do you want a color on a handbag of just because you like that color, or do you want a color that really coordinates with your clothing? Because you could go two different ways, because you might just want to have a fun pop of color, and then you might have to end up building a wardrobe in order to coordinate with the color of the handbag that you are purchasing. Or do you already have set in mind the colors from Hermes that will already work with your current wardrobe? Because I've seen videos both ways, where people are very specific. They know what they want, they know what's going to work for their wardrobe. And you have other videos where I have seen where people I feel are just wanting to they're excited because they ended up just getting an offer for a quota bag, whether it's a Birkin or a Kelly, and maybe even a Constance, but of course the most popular are the Kelly and the Birkin. And because they got the offer, they went ahead and accepted it, and it was in just some crazy color, right? Like some really wild, like a blue, electric blue color that that's not in their color palette. But they got excited because they got the offer, and so they accepted it. And so now it's like you have an expensive handbag that is not coordinating with any of your wardrobe, and now you're going to have to build a wardrobe in order to feel comfortable using that handbag, so that way it coordinates right with what you're wearing. So that's why I'm saying you want to look. That's another thing that you want to take into account. You want to put that into perspective. Hermes heritage. Learn your colors, learn the sizes, learn the styles of the bag, especially once you've decided what you are wanting. Have that knowledge, because that is going to be key. It was key for me when I first met with my sales associate, and I was having the conversations with her in regards to the items that I was looking at. She has the impression that she knows what she's talking about. She's taken the time to learn about colors, to learn about the different styles of accessories or the different types of handbags. I'm not just going in there blind, like I don't know anything about the company, I don't know anything about the brand, I haven't heard any stories, nothing like that. I've taken the time and I've made the effort to learn about the business. I've taken the time to learn about, what they have to offer their customers, what they offer, the lines of products. So know that is going to be very, very beneficial, as it was for me, and I hope it is for you. So thank you for joining me in episode 2. Wanted to make this quick. I don't want to make these videos long. Be sure to come back next Tuesday so that this way we can go ahead and, very important, the topic is going to be relationship building. So I'll see you back here for that video, amigos. Until next time, have a wonderful and blessed day. Hasta la próxima. Bye-bye.